I spilled CLR in the garage and didn't know it. It sat there for several months. It is in about a 3-foot wide irregular spot on the floor and has eaten through the finish a bit. I swept up some of it, but much of it won't come off. It seems bonded to the concrete. Or perhaps the concrete has become discolored? How can I get it up and stop the damage? And how do I know it is all up? And how do I fix it? Concrete patch. Thanks.
Hello. I'm here to help you with any questions you may have.
I spilled CLR in the garage and didn't know it. It sat there for several months. It is in about a 3-foot wide irregular spot on the floor and has eaten through the finish a bit. I swept up some of it, but much of it won't come off. It seems bonded to the concrete. Or perhaps the concrete has become discolored? How can I get it up and stop the damage? And how do I know it is all up? And how do I fix it? Concrete patch. Thanks.
CLR has permanently damaged the cement. To wash what is left, wear rubber gloves, use your hose and rinse out the area. How badly is the cement damaged?
That doesn't work. It has bonded into the concrete or something. I have scrubbed it for 90 minutes and it is only slightly smaller.
Instead of a concrete pact, which is very noticeable, and even though it may have been a light spill, everyone assumed the worst, there is a product you can roll on your garage floor that will actually increase the value of your home. Which would you like? It ate through the cement. There is no more cement. It will not come back.
I am not trying to get the cement back, I am trying to get the CLR up so it doesn't do further damage.
The stain will not improve, the cement is damaged. Well then, just rinse it with water, make sure it did not contact anything else, and you will be fine. How large was the spill?
Rinsing it with water is not getting it done. Scrubbing it with detergent and water is not getting it done either.
No, I am telling you, rinse it with water only. Hold on, I will show you. Removing efflorescence deposits on masonry walls. Full-size image efflorescence is a fancy name for white, crystalline deposits that can appear on masonry or concrete. These deposits occur when moisture within the masonry rises to the surface, carrying minerals with it. The moisture evaporates, leaving the minerals behind. This often occurs with new masonry work and usually stops when the masonry has thoroughly dried. However, if there is a source of moisture pushing through the masonry, such as a damp below-grade foundation, the efflorescence will continue building up. I've seen some basement walls that look like the Carlsbad caverns. The efflorescence on this wall, graphic left, is so thick, the white areas, that it falls off the wall like dandruff, and is piled on the foundation ledge like snow. Severe, persistent efflorescence is not harmful, just a visible symptom of excessive moisture in the cement. Excessive moisture is the cause of a myriad of problems in the home, from stinky moldy basements to insect problems. Today, there are various cement and non-cement based products that can be used to seal foundation walls from the inside to reduce or eliminate efflorescence. However, efflorescence must be removed first for these products to stick properly. Mother Nature does a great job on outdoor masonry via acidic rain, as efflorescence is rarely seen outdoors. But it takes years for a cement surface to be neutralized naturally. For indoor work, efflorescence can be removed with plain water and/or with TSP and a very stiff bristle brush. A phosphoric acid masonry cleaner is also acceptable for indoor use. As mentioned earlier, don't mix TSP and acid. If you plan on coating or painting the surface, consider using a phosphoric acid masonry cleaner before resorting to using muriatic acid. Follow the dilution recommendations on the product label or at the manufacturer's website. If you must use muriatic acid to remove efflorescence, follow these steps. Be sure to follow the safety recommendations earlier in this article. Dampen the wall. Mix the acid with water. 1 part acid to 10 parts water, by volume, is typical, but dilutions as light as 1 part acid to 16 parts water work well, too. 1 to 16 is easier to measure. That's 1 cup acid to 1 gallon of water. Read the label on the product you buy and follow the recommendations, if any. Remember, add the acid to the water, not water to acid. Brush or spray acid onto affected area. Do not use a metal sprayer. A plastic sprayer will work for a while, but will eventually be destroyed by the acid. Have a few extras nearby and throw away used sprayers when finished. Let the acid sit for no more than a few minutes, less if you can see the efflorescence lifting. Scrub off any remaining residue with a stiff brush while rinsing thoroughly with water. There are long-handled masonry brushes ideal for this job. To neutralize any remaining acid, you can spray a neutralizing rinse of 1 cup household ammonia to 1 gallon of water. This is a nasty, sloppy and potentially dangerous job, so understand what you are getting into before you start this one. And I do not recommend using muriatic acid indoors except in extreme circumstances and, hopefully, by experienced professionals who know how to deal with the dangerous fumes. Etching masonry for paint and patching preparation. Etching is a process where a chemical is applied to a surface to degrade it slightly. Etching is used to make circuit boards, where a thin copper sheet is selectively dissolved away to form a path for electricity. In masonry work, etching is a way to chemically clean and prepare masonry for repair or painting. Actually, the process of efflorescence removal discussed above also etches the masonry. Etching roughens the surface of the masonry, allowing better adhesion and absorption of both paints and patching materials. Use the same procedure and cautions for etching as described above for efflorescence. Removing mortar stains from masonry and/or ceramic tile. Muriatic acid can quickly remove mortar stains from masonry. Again, phosphoric acid masonry cleaner may be adequate if the staining is not too severe. As any tile professional will tell you, phosphoric acid is routinely used for removal of grout residue from ceramic tile and stone. Leave the acid in contact with the masonry for a minimal amount of time, in some cases just 10 or 15 seconds. New stains will release almost instantly. Quickly hose off all acid and reapply only as necessary until staining disappears. When satisfied, rinse thoroughly and then use a neutralizing solution of 1 cup household ammonia to 1 gallon of water and then do a final thorough rinse with water. How to safely dispose of muriatic acid or clean up muriatic acid spills. My appreciation Bert Tischer for suggesting I add muriatic acid cleanup and disposal information in this article. It was a huge oversight. Again, an observant reader comes to my rescue. Muriatic acid should never be poured down a storm drain, a sink, or flushed down a toilet. It can cause extreme damage to pipes, dissolve solder, and damage the biological balance of your septic system. Throwing away even a closed container of muriatic acid with the trash can be dangerous for trash handlers, their trucks, and possibly cause unexpected chemical reactions in landfills. Small quantities of spilled muriatic acid will not cause widespread environmental disaster, but it can cause severe damage to plants and animals that may come into contact with it. It's easy to neutralize a muriatic acid spill. Common household and/or garden chemicals. Here are some suggestions. 1. Recycle it. Many counties or cities have drop sites for recycling hazardous chemicals such as oil-based paints and other household chemicals. Most will also accept muriatic acid. Call your local recycling center for more info. 2. Neutralize it. Earlier, I mentioned using lime, the type used on lawns and gardens, to neutralize acid spills. Spreading a generous quantity of lime, the powdered or crushed type used for lawn or gardens, or baking soda and adding water will cause a distinctive fizz as the lime reacts with the acid to produce a harmless salt, water, and release carbon dioxide. I prefer garden lime over baking soda since it is less expensive, is sold in larger bags, and most gardeners have some laying around. You can also use lime to neutralize leftover muriatic acid. Get a large bucket. I prefer 5-gallon size dangerous since the chance of dangerous spattering is minimized in a large bucket. Put 3 or 4 cups of lime in the bottom and a gallon of water. Give it a stir with a long disposable wooden stirrer, an old 1x2 is fine. Slowly add the acid to the bucket, keeping your face away while pouring, and wearing your respirator. Stir, adding more acid and more lime until all chemical fizzing has stopped. The fully neutralized acid can now be safely disposed down a sink or storm drain without fear of damage to your septic system or the environment. Seriously, it has already been on there too long. Rinsing it is your only solution.
Do you recommend putting baking soda on it to neutralize the acid?
If anything came off, it was the deterioration of the cement. If it is not in a noticeable spot, rinse it and leave it. If it is, there are garage floor resurfacing that you can place on the whole floor and it will cover it. It all depends on what you want to do. But you cannot clean it or make it go away.
I am not trying to make it go away. I'm trying to get all the CLR off the floor. It will not come off with just rinsing. I realize the concrete is damaged. I just want to get the CLR off so that it doesn't do further damage.
Rinsing, that is all you can do. As I stated before,
rinsing is not getting the CLR off the floor. So, I should just let it sit there and continue to eat through the concrete?
Rinsing is the only way to get CLR that has been left on the floor for an undetermined amount of time. The damage is already done. I explained this to you. The only way which the process has already accrued is to rinse it completely. If there was another answer, believe me, I would love to give it to you.
I have tried rinsing. It does not work. So, you are basically saying I cannot get it off. If that's the case, why not put baking soda down to at least neutralize it?
No, I am saying try the 5-gallon bucket with the 5 cups of lime juice and flour. It will at least neutralize it. And then raise it, but let it sit on there. How long was the CLR on the cement? Baking soda alone won't neutralize it need the juice acid. I'm going to call them personally, okay?
Okay, but CLR is acidic, so why add more acid in lime juice? Why not try to neutralize the acid with something alkaline?
Okay, how long was the CLR down for? A few weeks, a month.
Several months.
Okay, let me tell them. They said the act is different, and has penetrated into the cement. But to slow it and try and stop it. 2. Neutralize it. Earlier, I mentioned using lime, the type used on lawns and gardens, to neutralize acid spills. Spreading a generous quantity of lime, the powdered or crushed type used for lawn or gardens, or baking soda and adding water will cause a distinctive fizz as the lime reacts with the acid to produce a harmless salt, water, and release carbon dioxide. I prefer garden lime over baking soda since it is less expensive, is sold in larger bags, and most gardeners have some laying around. You can also use lime to neutralize leftover muriatic acid. Get a large bucket. I prefer 5-gallon size dangerous since the chance of dangerous spattering is minimized in a large bucket. Put 3 or 4 cups of lime in the bottom and a gallon of water. Give it a stir with a long disposable wooden stirrer, an old 1x2 is fine. Slowly add the acid to the bucket, keeping your face away while pouring, and wearing your respirator. Stir, adding more acid and more lime until all chemical fizzing has stopped. The fully neutralized acid can now be safely disposed down a sink or storm drain without fear of damage to your septic system or the environment. Lime neutralize muriatic acid. Lime. And this will not damage anything else in your home.
Not sure what you are recommending. The first paragraph recommends baking soda or lime mixed with water, with preference for lime only because of price. The second paragraph is instructions on how to safely dispose of muriatic acid and does not seem to apply here. I do not have lime, but I do have baking soda. So, I suppose I can mix it with water and pour it onto the CLR spot. Correct?
It reacts with the stone and stand and other materials that make up the cement. And don't scrub it no more, it only brings off the dead covering, exposing the eaten material. Yes, but 5 cups of baking soda in the bottom of each buckets and add water till it is pasty.
How long should I let it sit?
Apply as like a paste over the area and let it stay there.
Let it stay there indefinitely?
We're trying to absorb any of the acid that is leaked down. No, let it stay till you see some cracks in it, the said.
Some cracks in what?
I guess it is pulling the chemical from the cement as best as possible. In the pasty baking soda.
How long should I leave the paste on?
The said check it daily and it should dry you within a few days, 3 to 5.
And once this is all done, what was the resurfacing thing you mentioned?
After it is dry, the said to swipe it up as much as possible and let it stay dry. What do you want your floor to look like, the cement in the area?
I don't understand the question. Ideally would fix the superficial damage, somehow. Maybe a thin coat of concrete over top? You seem to have something else in mind though?
At Home Depot and Lowe's they have several garage floor epoxy paint. You can get one that matches your floor if you just want to do that spot. You have dozen to choose from, but the rep said to use epoxy. They have then to match your floor.
The floor is untreated now. The floor is gravelly, you can see the stones popping out. Seems like painting it would not be enough.
The epoxy files it, and that why she said to use it.
I meant the one spot is gravelly, not the whole floor. Do I need to etch with acid first? Maybe skip the CLR spot?
If you feel bitter, the customer serve rep said you can, but a small can of already mixed cement and smooth over it, see how it dries first. She said not more acid, nothing will adhere to it.
I was thinking for the rest of the floor besides the spot. It is untreated concrete. Anyway, are you saying just put down epoxy paint on the whole floor with no prep?
Get a spatula and already mixed or a bag of small cement, me hate, spread it even and see it comes out the way you like. You may not need the other. Epoxy is awesome, it actually increases the value of your home when you do it, and it is easy at like painting. But repair the small ups first. Are you handy?
Okay, that's what I was think, patch the concrete and then paint the whole thing. Does the epoxy paint need any prep?
So do some just get the area wet until you have completely let it dry, okay? Some do, sorry.
I am middling. I am not sure I trust myself with a concrete patch. If I mess it up, I will have to dump some more CLR on it and start over. Smile. Thanks for your help. Thanks for hanging in there, too.
I did one. It was basically a thicker paint, then they give you this little granules you shake over, it looks really nice, plus it A+ for resell. You will be thin, start in the middle and go slow. If you start at the deep end, then you just spread it to the ends where needs play, the epoxy covers it. Oh. Send me a picture before. Oh, don't forget to remove the drain, clean out when you epoxy, and put newspaper in it or tape, it should show you how. Can you send a picture?
1 minute. Full-size image.
Oh wow, okay, start the cement mess in the center, smooth it out there, the spread to ends.
What do you think? What drain are you talking about?
I want to see a during picture too. You don't have any drains in your garage. The epoxy will be a world of wonder. Start the cement by the rocks, press it in and smooth it down.
The patch will have to be really thin, right? It is not very deep.
Just enough to smooth that out, the epoxy will fill too.
Okay. There is no prep for the epoxy? Just clean the floor and then put it down?
It will be thickened, the rocky area. Funny, CLR works on plastic and chrome and does that to cement. Pretty much so. When I did it, make sure the cement is dry, it pretty cheap nowadays too. It comes in a box, you pick the color and everything.
Okay, gotta go. Thanks for all your help. I would be happy to send a during pic, but it won't be for a while. How would I send it once I get off this chat, anyway?
You will be fine, I have faith. Send me a picture when you get that patched, okay? To MsBabyD, I am like the only girl on here, oh. Send me a message, it doesn't cost you anything to do that.
Okay. Thanks for all time.
No problem, good luck, I can't wait.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/YTHI.